Hi everyone, I'm Anusha, and today I'm excited to walk you through a demo of a chatbot we have built using retrieval augmented generation with Amazon Bedrock and Amazon Redshift. This chatbot is connected to an Amazon Redshift data warehouse where I have loaded the TPCDS dataset. For those of you who may not know what TPCDS is, it's a sample dataset that represents a fictional retail company. It's widely used for analytics testing. Now, what makes this chatbot unique is how it uses data directly from Redshift. It answers your questions by first identifying which columns in the Redshift schema contain the data relevant to your query. It then dynamically builds SQL queries to get you the right answer. And here's the really exciting part. It works independently of the table schema. This chatbot pulls the schema directly from Redshift system tables, so it can adapt to any dataset across any industry. Let's take a look at the architecture that powers this chatbot. This solution uses Amazon Bedrock agents with action groups that trigger Lambda functions, which in turn query Lambda. Here is how it works. First, the user asks a question in natural language. The question is sent to Bedrock Workflow Orchestrator, where it is processed by a large language model. The LLM generates the necessary SQL query based on the schema. This query is passed to the Lambda function, which then executes it on Redshift. The result from Redshift is returned to the LLM, which then summarizes the output and sends it back to you in simple English. Let's start with a simple example. You can ask the chatbot how many tables are there in the database. Right away, it runs a query on Redshift. As you can see, the tables in this dataset relate to the retail industry with categories like catalog, sales, customer data, suppliers, etc. But this chatbot isn't limited to basic queries. It's powerful enough to answer complex business questions. For instance, you can ask it, who are the top 10 high-value customers? This chatbot instantly generates a SQL query that is needed to find this information, runs it on Redshift, and presents the result. It doesn't just stop there, it even explains it in simple English on why these customers are considered high value based on the data. What's more, the chatbot remembers the conversation history. So if you ask a follow-up question like, why are these customers high value? It can explain the criteria it used to determine that in plain English. Let's take it a step further. Say you are a product manager and you want to know what is the highest selling product. The chatbot pulls the relevant data, builds SQL, and returns the answer along with an easy to understand explanation. This makes it ideal for non-technical users who want to make data-driven decisions without needing to know SQL. You can even ask more strategic questions, like which product should we promote? This chatbot then analyzes the data and makes recommendations based on factors like profit margins. For example, it might be suggesting to promote a product with a lower margin to improve overall profitability. Now let's talk about handling more complex queries. Suppose you ask which product has the highest return rate. The chatbot will find the data and show it to you, but what if the results include some null values? You can then simply ask, exclude null from the product list, and the chatbot will update the query, removing any irrelevant data and gives you a cleaner result. Then provides recommendation on how to address the return based on this data. Let's say if you're a supply manager in this fictional retail company. This chatbot can answer questions like who is our most reliable supplier? It automatically determines the criteria for reliability, such as on-time delivery or quality scores, and gives you the most reliable supplier based on that analysis. Now, if you try to ask disruptive questions like drop this supplier, the chatbot knows its limits and responds appropriately. Now, let's quickly look at the Bedrock agent in itself. As you can see, the instructions are written in plain English. These instructions guide the agent on how to handle user queries. The agent is connected to an action group which calls a Lambda function. And here's the code. The code is simple, just receives the SQL query from the event that it receives from Bedrock, executes it, it monitors the status of the query until completion, and then sends the result back to Bedrock. The chatbot then takes that result, summarizes it, and presents it to you. And that's a wrap on the demo of our chatbot. I hope this gives you a glimpse into how powerful and versatile the solution can be for any industry or dataset. This is a retrieval augmented generation RAG-based solution that uses Redshift and Bedrock. Thanks for watching, and I hope this inspires you to explore the power of chatbots in data analytics.